morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and today's shout out goes to Tommaso Viani and Aramis Reyes. Both were first to say first in one of my recent videos, and both win this shout out, so congratulations. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here with a review of a neat new drone, the ZLRC SG906 Max. Obstacle avoidance upgrade to the SG906 Pro 2. Now, the SG906 has gone through quite a few upgrades since the original SG906 Beast. It's gone to, they had a, I guess, 2-axis, or they had originally no stabilization, then a 2-axis gimbal, then a 3-axis gimbal. Now they got a 3-axis gimbal with 4K, and now we have 3-axis gimbal 4K and obstacle avoidance sensor that you can add on to this thing. Keep in mind, this obstacle avoidance sensor is optional. Okay, you can either purchase this with the sensor or without the sensor. Currently, right now, my sponsor who provided this to me, they are out of stock of this sensor, but they are taking orders for it because they expect to have that sensor come in stock soon. And I'm going to go into detail on that a little bit later, but let's talk about the drone first. First off, before we go too far, I want to mention this drone is a folding drone, and it comes with a nice carrying case for portability. So, you know, a folding case, the carrying case is included with the drone. Okay, let's take a look at the drone. The drone, again, as mentioned, it's a folding drone. It's not a lightweight drone. This thing weighs about 586 grams. So it's going to require registration in most countries, folks, so keep that in mind. It has GPS and GLONASS for automatic return to home capability on command, on loss of signal, and on low voltage command. It also includes an optical flow sensor in the belly, for which, if you wish to fly without GPS but still maintain automatic hovering, this sensor can't provide it. What it does is it looks directly below the drone at the ground and uses that view to maintain its position in space. Now, it's also a brushless motor drone with 1806 17,000 kV motors for improved durability over a brush drone. Other things about it, it comes with a 2S 3400 milliampere hour battery. There we go, 7.6 volts. That's LIHV, 3400 milliampere hour battery. Now this battery supposedly gives it up to about 23 minutes of flight time, based on, you know, they really have not changed the airframe of the previous between this and the previous versions of the Beast, so it runs around 23 minutes, if that's what I remember correctly. Now, one thing they did upgrade the previous versions. We have a 3-axis gimbal. Okay, provides stabilization in up down, right left tilt, and also right left yaw. Now, the SG906 Pro 2 that I reviewed previously had a bit of a problem with the right-left yaw. Okay, it just did not seem to work. But this one here works properly, folks. So they have corrected the problem with the SG906 Pro 2's yaw, sticky yaw, at least with the one that I had. But there's one other thing that they added to this. In addition to the 3-axis stabilization, they also included electronic image stabilization to help improve the stabilized video even further. So that's one of the bigger upgrades over this over the previous Pro 2 version of this. We now have electronic image stabilization also. Let's see. The photos and videos from this camera are recorded to a micro SD card. Now, my sponsor, who's providing this drone, is currently having a sale, and they are including this micro SD card with the drone, so you don't need to purchase one separately from my vendor, the sponsor that provided this to me. So keep that in mind. If you don't have a card, the card is included with the version that I reviewed. But let's talk about the camera. The camera takes 4K photos at 4096 by 3072 pixel. That's why they're calling it 4K. However, the video is only 2048 by 1080p at 25 frames per second. That's 2K video. So this is being advertised as 4K, but what they're referring to in the 4K is the photos that this actually takes, not the video. The video is 2K. Okay? Okay. Let's see, what else? FPV from this particular drone, this provides FPV to your phone via its app, but the FPV range of this is predicted to be up to 800 meters. Now, I am not going to be able to test that at the flight test facility or flight test area where I fly, folks. I can't fly 800 meters legally. However, I will fly it within about 200 meters, and we'll see how the FPV looks at that. That's a reasonable range, actually, folks, what I fly at. But the control range of this, though, is up to 1,200 meters, and that is double the control range of the original Pro 2. And I'll explain why and how they did it here shortly when we go over the controller. Now, as with most drones these days, this particular FPV drone requires use of 802.11 AC Wi-Fi to properly use the app. Not all phones have 802.11 AC Wi-Fi. So before purchasing this drone, I strongly recommend that you first verify that your phone indeed can use 802.11 AC Wi-Fi. And the way to do that is simply Google your phone's name along with the term 802.11 and the term specifications, and then see if 802.11 AC shows up in the search results. Now, I mentioned the app. The app that this uses is not the same as the Pro 2. This now uses the ZLRC app. I remember that the original Pro 2 HFun used the HFun Pro app, and that HFun Pro app had a lot of problems. So hopefully those problems have been corrected through the new ZLRC app. Now, with that new app, you get the advanced flight control features of Follow Me, Circle Me, and Waypoints with that particular app. There's also another thing I'll show you when we get out there. That app has now a little sensor at the bottom center of the screen that shows your orientation with respect to the drone's orientation and which way the drone is pointed and which way you're pointed. And the idea being that should help you bring the drone back just using the app without hitting the return to home. So we'll see if that actually works when we go fly this. One of the things about it, let's go into the obstacle avoidance sensor now. Let's mention, I mentioned it. Let's go into detail about it. Now, this obstacle avoidance sensor on the top here, again, is optional, and you can purchase it, or purchase it at the time the purchase of the drone by either selecting it with the obstacle avoidance sensor, or if you don't want that obstacle avoidance sensor and you just want the 4K, you can save yourself about $20 less by selecting it without the obstacle avoidance sensor. But it comes in this little box here. And to install it, all you merely do is pry off there's a little cover on the top of this particular drone that you can pop off and then just stick it in, plug it in, and it's plug and play. So, but how this works is this emits a little laser beam, okay, and that laser beam bounces off any object in front of this drone and will be able to sense any object in front of this drone that is bouncing off of it. Bounces off and comes back and is received by the receiver screen there. And then using that, it's able to measure the distance to that object and uses that to determine, if it needs to stop to avoid bumping into that object. That only works while in low rate mode. If you go to high rate mode and fly fast, that turns off the obstacle avoidance feature. So keep that in mind, folks. You need to be in low rate mode. Additionally, you have to be in GPS mode. I tried this down in my basement with flying in flying with optical flow, and that also seems to turn this system's capability off of detecting things. It needs the GPS to do the calculations needed to determine how far the object is away. So keep that in mind, folks. You need to be in low rate and you need to be flying in GPS mode for this obstacle avoidance sensor to work. Now, this obstacle avoidance sensor will pan right and left, 120-degree scan between the two arms here, and any object within that scan, and it detects it, and it comes within 20 meters, the drone should slow down and stop to avoid that object. We're going to try that out in the field when we go flying, and hopefully it will work as advertised, okay? Let's see, I mentioned obstacle avoidance. I think that's about it. Let's go over what you get in the box. You get in the box instruction manuals. You get 6 different instruction manuals in English, in French, in Japanese, in German, in Spanish, and also in Italian. And you get a little precautionary note about the pan tilt zoom telling you to use your cover to protect it when you're transporting the drone. You get an instruction manual for the sensor, for the obstacle avoidance sensor. You get a spare set of propeller blades, USB charging cable for the battery. Did I mention that this battery, this 3400 milliamp hour battery, is charged via a micro USB port labeled right there. I recommend using a 2 amp wall charger with that USB cable to charge this. Otherwise, try to charge a 3400 milliamp hour battery with your laptop. You're going to be waiting several days, if not more, to charge that battery. You can get additional batteries at the time of purchase, so this is available in 1, 2, and 3 battery bundles if you wish additional batteries. And what else do you get? You get the controller. Now, let's talk about the controller. I haven't gone into that yet. This controller has been somewhat upgraded from the original Pro 2 controller. It's smaller, about the same weight though, but now it has a nice, or very large LCD screen. It has pull-out handles on the bottom, and the control, these knobs on the top lift up, and you can insert your phone into such. Additionally, it has a real antenna. Now, the original Pro 2 did not have a real antenna. There was no wires going up in the center of these antennas. But now we have a wire going up to make this a real antenna. And that's how you get that additional 600 meters of range. Now we have an external antenna to provide additional power or additional beaming of the signal from the controller to the drone. I recommend keeping the flat portion of this antenna pointed toward the drone wherever the drone's using it. And you can use the app to figure where the drone is in the sky so you can point yourself in the right direction. Now let's go over the buttons on the controller. You have an on-off button on the right here. Okay, that turns on the controller and brings up the LCD screen. Now we have telemetry in this LCD screen, and the telemetry is we got the height and distance of the drone, GPS status of the drone, whether you're in mode 1 or mode 2, mode 1 being GPS, mode 2 being optical flow, whether you're in low or high rate, and battery power of both the drone and battery power of the controller, along with signal strength of the drone and signal strength being received by the drone from the controller. There are some other insignias come up regarding stabilization being initialized on the drone, and I forgot what the others are. We'll go over it when we get in the field. But let's talk about the buttons on this. This button in the upper left corner is for adjusting rates from low to high and back to low again. And if you hold it down for 3 seconds, it goes into gyro calibration mode along with calibration of the gimbal. Make sure the drone's on a flat level surface when you do that if you're calibrating the drone and the gimbal. Additionally, this button here is the return to home button. You can press that and activate automatic return to home and landing of the drone. This button here is for starting and stopping videos. This button here is for taking a photo. Shows the camera and it goes out. And if you hold the button down for 3 seconds, it initializes compass calibration mode of the drone, and I'll go over how to do the compass calibration when we go out to the field. Additionally, you can start and stop the motors, I believe, down and inboard, or down and out, one of the two. I can't remember. I think it's down and inboard from what I did down in the basement. Along with automatic takeoff and automatic landing by pressing this button here. This button here puts the drone into headless mode. If you want to do panning shots with the drone, recommend using headless mode. And you can turn the GPS off by holding this button down here for, I believe, 3 seconds. Yep, 3 seconds. And that puts the drone into optical flow mode using the optical flow sensor only to fly the drone. When you're in optical flow mode, return to home and landing is non-operative. Also note that you can't return back to GPS mode by holding this button down. Once you're in optical flow mode, you got to stay in optical flow mode throughout the entire flight until you come back and land the drone. So be careful using that. I recommend using optical flow if you ever encounter toilet bowling effect of the drone, or you have problems with the GPS while in flight. It goes off flying back to China. Turn off the GPS and manually bring the drone home to you. Okay, that's what you get in the box with this particular drone, and that's the SG906 Max upgrade to the SG906 Pro 2. Let's take it out into the field, folks, and see how it flies. So I hope you enjoy this flight. Good morning, Quadcopter 1 here on a somewhat cold and slightly breezy day here at somewhere near Erie, Pennsylvania, actually Fairview and Girard, Pennsylvania, with the SG906 Max. Okay, to get this set up, first off I need to take off that guard. Always remember to take off your guard, your gimbal guard, before flying, folks. It's very simple to forget that, but put that and put it in my pocket. And to start this up, we just need to hold down this back button until we see the lights all turn on and hear the chirp of the ESCs, and then put it on a flat level surface. And turning on the controller, and notice I am not, oh there we go, we're bound to the aircraft. Okay, first thing we need to do with this drone is a compass calibration. And remember, to do the compass calibration, we got to hold down this upper right photo button and hold it down for 3 seconds. And then that activates the compass calibration. We should be flashing lights rapidly right now. Here we are in the back here, flashing rapidly red. So now we need to turn until we hear another beep horizontally, about 3 turns. And then we go vertically, like so, and turn it another 3 turns until we hear another beep. And there we are. Compass calibration completed. Now all I got to do now is connect my phone's Wi-Fi to the drone's Wi-Fi, and then open the app. So hold on while I do that, folks. Okay, this is the ZLRC app available on Google Play and iTunes, and right now we have 12 satellites telling us we have good satellite lock with that GPS GLONASS system that has got on board. And all I need to do now is hit start play, like so. And before we fly, let me make sure that I am recording. I always forget to do that sometimes, so we are recording. And now it's saying keeps 3 meters away, so I'll back up a bit and hit submit. And notice in the bottom corner there, that bottom center, that little icon there. Now the dot with the rays coming out of it is my direction of pointing, and the little diamond is the drone's direction of pointing. Notice if I turn to the left, the drone's now on my right. So, and if I turn to the right, the drone's now on my left. So, you know, it's a cool way of actually maintaining orientation on the drone. So remember that, folks. It's a neat thing. Okay, now I want to start the video camera, and the video recording, I start by pressing this button here. Video should be recording, and we'll start the motors by down and out. Or is it down and in? Down and in starts the motors. And this does have automatic takeoff, so automatic takeoff. And we'll check its stability. Going up a bit higher, got hit with a bit of wind there. Now let's get to the side of it, and I'm going to show you that scanner. Look at that scanner. Let me get on the other side with the sun at my back. But see the scanning going on with that laser pointer? Now what if I get in front of it? What's it going to do? Well, it's not doing anything. Maybe it's okay. I'm not sure why it's not detected me. It should be, but if I get closer, I am in low rate, I think. Yep, I'm in low rate. Well, before we lose any more power on this battery, let's try it out. Fly it. We'll go up and see Lake Erie on this beautiful day with snow. I'll head toward the road. I'm not sure why that didn't detect me. Maybe it doesn't work as well in bright sunlight. So how am I at 25 meters? I like to only go about 25 meters, folks, for safety purposes. And 60 meters out, we'll go down to the road. And then we're going to slowly turn. I want to see how that third axis gimbal works out. Slowly turning. turning around, showing you the area. And there I am off in the distance. Now I'm adjusting my antenna here, and I'm looking at that diamond, and I'm not going to just do a return to home. I'm going to try to return to home by, it's pointing toward me. So I'm just going to push forward and try to fly it home using that bottom center icon to bring it back toward me. I think I need to turn to the right a bit according to that icon. I'm not looking at myself on the ground. I'm looking at the icon. There, okay, it should be coming back toward me. So that orientation thing is the coolest thing I've seen added to a drone yet, to these, what do you call it, apps. Okay, there I am, or there's the drone. You know, that's a cool way, really cool way to maintaining orientation on the drone. Okay. With that in mind, now from that position there, let's just finish the rest of the way with a return to home and landing. Pressing return to home and landing, I want to see how close it gets to the pad. Moving away from the pad. I'm going to stop the return to home before it actually settles down. But yeah, I think that icon is awesome. That should be on all apps to help maintain orientation, especially if you're flying outside of line of sight, which you shouldn't do, folks, obviously. But sometimes you lose sight of the drone, and that's a good way to maintain orientation on the drone and bring it back home without pressing that return to home button. Although I'm testing its return to home right now. See if I can stop it. It's almost right on the pad, but I don't want to hit the snow. So yeah, we're only about half a meter off, which is pretty cool. Now let me come a little lower. We're going to try that scanner again. I'm going to fly toward me slowly. Let's go out past 20 meters. Maybe that's why it was closer than 20 meters. And coming around and seeing if it detects me. Yeah. Okay, you have to be outside of 20 meters. I'm going to keep pushing forward and see if it'll stop. There you go. And it stops itself. So yeah, it works. You just have to be outside. I was inside of 20 meters when it detected me. Let's turn it around again. Okay. Try it one more time. Coming around. Seeing if it detects me. Pushing forward. It senses me. It senses me. I'm going to walk in front of it. And there it goes. It stops. So yeah, this is cool. It works. That sensor is a neat thing. So the Max got some neat stuff added to it. Okay, I got real close to it. It still was detecting me. Okay, while we got battery power, let's try these other advanced features out. First off, let me stop the video recording once and restarting it. And this time, let me sync up the cameras. Forgot to do that. And going up a bit higher. And let's try follow me first, folks. So follow me and GPS follow me, which is the bottom one. Is it gonna follow? In the snow here, will it go? It's activated. It's staying on me, but is it following me? I'm going away, walking away. Yeah, it's following. I can see that. How about, when is it going to detect that I'm walking toward it? Oh, that beeper's detected me. There we go. Falling away. Moving away, sliding away. It's a DJI style of follow me. It slides around. So far, I'm liking what I'm seeing with this Max. Okay, now what was it doing? It pointed away from me. We still in follow? Okay, it broke out of follow me. I don't know why it did that, but it did. Next thing, circle position. Let's go up a bit higher. Circle. Selecting circle position. And hitting submit. It goes up. That's the initial position it was at. I'm going to go under it. And let's lower that gimbal. So it'll see me. lowering the altitude. Okay, hit circle position, submit. Sending data. Please wait. I shouldn't hit the pitch roll stick. Let it do its thing. I don't know what it's doing. I'm under it. Let's hit send data again. I'm not sure what it's doing with the circle position, so there's some issues there with circle position. Oh, there we go. Something's happening. I'm letting it move on its own here. I'm going to raise up the gimbal too. Okay, it's all the way down. Up. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's doing anything, folks. So I'm coming out of circle position. I'm not sure why that's not working. So coming around, next thing is waypoints. Let's try the waypoints. Now the thing about waypoints is this does not use Google Maps. It uses a Chinese version of the websites, and the app has crashed. So let me restart the app. Hold on. App. Okay, 3, 2, 1. I restarted the app. Let's try those waypoints one more time. Well, there is no waypoints showing up on my screen. Close app. So there's some issues with waypoints on this, folks. Let me go ZLRC app. 3, 2, 1. I open the ZLRC app, start play while it's in flight. Submit. Okay. So what I'm seeing on the screen, I'm not seeing the option for doing a waypoint. Oh, wait a minute. Upper right corner. Hitting that. I'm sorry, that's my problem. Hitting the bottom one, and it's dropped again. So with the waypoints, the app seems to keep crashing. So with that in mind, I'm not going to work waypoints anymore. I'm just going to start up the app one more time, start play, and hit submit. And I'm not sure if it's recording or not now, folks. I'm going to hit record. Record. Okay, we should be recording now. It's out of sync with the app. I'm pretty sure it's recording now. Let me hit stop. Okay, we should be recording now. Both are in sync now. What I'm going to do, folks, is try to fly over to my car off in the distance here and see if it detects it. Flying FPV to the car. Going to the car, and it's picking it up already. And getting closer. Closer to the car. Going up a little higher. I want to hit the ground. And it doesn't seem to be detecting the car over there. I'm not sure why. So I'm turning it around back toward me, using the icon to fly it back toward me. The icon. Oh, that is so cool. I like that icon. Flying it back. Well, I don't know why it didn't detect the car. It detected me, but not the car. So coming back. And well, there, it's detecting me. So sometimes it works. Getting closer. There we go, and now it's detected me and stopped itself. Okay, well, we got battery power. Let's turn it this way now. Let's stop the video recording. Video recording, stop, because I want to take a photo. Get a little closer. It's letting me. That's a photo. Another photo. Coming down a little lower. Oh, one more photo, just to show the photos that this thing could take. And one more, just to make sure I got them all. There we go. Okay, give it some time to download those photos too. Okay, finally, what's going? Oh, that's detected me. I got to get outside of the range. I tried to go forward. It was detected me. Let's go forward again and up, and one more time see Lake Erie. Oh, starting the video camera first. Video camera recording. Going up and seeing Lake Erie one more time on this cold day. Notice all the snow, folks, here in Erie. Erie's famous for its snow. It gets over 100 inches a year. And we got another snowstorm coming in tonight. Supposedly going to give us another foot of snow. Just what we need here, huh? You know, in the winter, my chances of flying here are few and far between. Okay, 30 meters. You should, yeah, I see Lake Erie off there. Going out close to the road. And then again, using that icon to bring it back. So I need to turn to the left to point that arrow toward me. Toward the circle with the array point toward it. And you can tell where the drone is by the icon there, so you can aim the antenna toward the drone. I'm going to try to fly it right overhead of me without me looking up at it. Just using that icon. Well, where's the, let me lower the gimbal and try to bring it right back toward me, and lowering the throttle to bring it down. I need to turn to the right according to that icon. That is so cool. I like that. Good job, ZLRC, with that icon thing. I like it. Okay, and there's our drone. Okay, while we still have power, let's try some things like rocket and lowering the gimbal all the way. And I'm under it. And give it a throttle. Up and away. Rocket. And then coming back down again. The next thing I want to try is this. That was a rocket. That's true up and away by raising the gimbal. Gimbal up. And let's get my face in the sun here. And bringing it over here. Okay, point it toward me. I want to go down a little bit with the gimbal, just a little bit downward. Yeah, that's good enough, I guess. And pulling back and up. Up and away. Like an Easy Rider. The ending of Easy Rider. I always say that. That helicopter shot at the very end of Easy Rider, folks. I don't know how many of you old fogies remember that. Okay, I'm trying to push forward. I think it thinks I'm still in front of it. Am I low battery right now? Yes, I am. It's not letting me fly outside of the, it's got a geofence, so I got to turn down and come back down again. So there's a 20-meter geofence on this thing. We're at 7.1 volts. I guess it's going to land or restrict its flight. Let's try to go over in this direction. It should hit a wall in the sky at about 20 meters, and there it is. Yeah. How many meters is that? Yeah, 20 meters. So I got to stay within a circle of 20 meters until the battery's dead. So we're going to fly the rest of this. Bringing it up close again, and give me my thoughts first off. And I don't want to be between it and the landing pad, because it might fly straight back to it. So my thoughts. The new SG906 Pro actually looks pretty cool what it can do. Okay. That obstacle avoidance feature works well as long as it detects you outside of 20 meters. If you walk in front of it like I just did right now, within that's 20 meter space, it doesn't detect you. It misses you. I am not seeing any laser coming out of that, but I guess it's a low-level laser, so it's, you know, it says to avoid eye contact with it. But I'm trying not to look at it, but looking downward. what else? The camera looks good. The gimbal operation seems to be working fine. So the 3-axis gimbal has, I hope it's been corrected from the problem of the previous SG906 Pro, is that third axis did not work properly. It would, let me think this up. It was very stiff. Okay, if you turn right or left, let's try it. See? Let's try it. Turn. Well, maybe this one. I see it's working. It's got a delay. So, it's working. Other things, the flight time is going to be kind of short today because it's a cold day. My fingers are freezing. So, do not keep, the flight time that this is getting today is, generally unrealistic because the cold is cooling down that battery. Okay. And what did it just say? I'm going to save the video real quick. Coming down one more time. Syncing up one more time. So, final thoughts. Again, good new drone. Update of the Beast. I like it. I like that center feature. I wonder if this app actually works with the older versions of the Beast. That would be cool if it does. Being able to give you this type of information. Okay, we're at 7.1 volts. It's continuing to fly, so let's go back up again. Let's see if there's a ceiling on this. Yep, 20 meters height and 20 meters distance. It's the max you can do. So from up there, let's just do a rotate. Okay, say low battery. Let's do a rotate while we're in low battery of the area. When's it going to do a return to home? Is the question. I'm going to get out from under it, folks. In case it does do a low battery return to home on the ground by a quick drop. Where's my takeoff pad? I don't know. I can't find it. Oh, there it is. I better get out of the way of this. So, it's behind me, 20 meters from it. So I'm going to go back to the pad. We're just going to let it hover there and see what it does. I'm hoping it will do a return to home once it goes below 20 volts. I'm hearing a beeping, beep, beep, beep. It's telling me that the battery is low. So we'll just fly it around until the battery does finally do something with it. Okay, I just heard a beep. Not sure what that beep was. Still saying low battery. Trying to go forward. And hit the wall in the sky. Just rotating around. I don't know what the beep 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 was. We're going to see here. We're still at 7.0 volts. I got a feeling it's going to go, once it goes below 7.0, it is going to do the return to home and landing. Does it detect me from over there? Pulling back. Again, let me get behind 20 meters. Pulling backward until it hits that. Okay. It just hit it. Now it's going upward. Slowly, I think it's doing, it's doing a return to home. Coming home. So that's what it does on low battery. It climbs. How high does it climb? Probably 20 meters, I'm guessing. And does its return to home. This time I'm going to let it land in the snow. Because I don't want to grab that, folks. You do not want to grab a brushless motor drone with your hands. You see people doing that all the time on YouTube and that. Do not do that if you value your fingers. Okay? That is wrong, especially with, the gyro stabilization is going to take over sometimes and it'll slip out of your hands and you're going to lose a finger. So do not do that, folks. That's just dumb. I see people doing that all the time, especially with DJI drones and try to grab it with their hand. Why? Okay, we're off this time about 2.5 meters. but I'm going to let it land in the snow. There we go. Nice and flat landing in the snow. And stopping the video recording now. And checking one time by pressing video recording once and off. Make sure it's off. So let me turn off the drone, turn off the app, and give you my final thought here. Well, while it's recording. So all in all, I think it's a cool drone. SG906 Pro or SG906 Max. Nice drone. I hope the video came out nice on this. We'll find out when in post-production. But that everything about it I kind of like. So it's Quadcopter 101, holding it up. Quadcopter 101, signing out. Hi, Quadcopter 101 here again. Hey, if you want to get your own shout out in one of my future videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's real simple. Just go to my channel page and click on that subscribe. And also make sure to click that bell button right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified when I release a brand new video immediately and give you a chance to get that first shout out. So give it a try, folks.